here. So I'm running a Kawasaki KLX140L here. So it is kind of dawned on me that I've never done a ride review at Stony Ford with this. So I'm going to do that today, even though I have lots of video of me riding it. Woo! HadesOmega's here on my KLX140 at Stony Ford OHV. I want to do a little ride review on this because I just rode the CRF150L. And I was amazed by it. It was pretty cool. But this bike is not bad itself. It seems like this the KLX. Well, you can watch my actually in my on the Honda video. I kind of compared the two, but I want to ride this one right after that one to just compare, you know. I don't really know what to say. It's my bike. I ride it a lot. But yeah. So this is a 2000 something KLX140. It's low to the ground. It's smaller than the Honda. The good thing about this is I haven't done any mods to it. The only mod I've done to do it is install a uni filter. This bike seems to want to rev a lot more. It revs a lot faster. Rear brake is much better. Is a little bit, yeah, it's a little better. One thing about this bike is the clutch is kind of worn out. I think it needs heavier springs, or I just been riding the piss out of it, you know. Just needs a new clutch. But we'll just do a little review. So this is a KLX140 with a KX100 front forks. So it's not a stock KLX, but this is it's a very common mod people do. You get the KLX100 or 185 shocks. So you cannot sit down on this bike at all, from what I noticed. You hit a bump, you're gonna go flying, you know. You kind of have to stand up for the rough stuff, because it'll bottom out is the problem. The suspension on the KLX is not for adults. Oh, big adults. I'm a 5'10", 175 pounds. Let's see how well it goes up. You know, I've done this many times on this bike. I do notice that the front seems lighter on this bike. It seems to, where the Honda seems more planted. This bike wants to get the front up all the time. It seems the front is like lighter or something. This has a smaller wheelbase, slightly smaller wheelbase than the Honda. I think it has the same size rims. For some reason, the KLX wants to get air. It's more willing to get air. Also, this KLX has the BBR. So you can hear the front. It kind of bottoms out. I still have the stock springs in the front, and it's for a KX100. So you can imagine that bike is much lighter, you know, much smaller, not for an adult. So what people will do is they'll respring this for an adult and have a grand time with it. So like, I think out of the box, I think the 150 is better bike. This bike seems to be more willing to to slide too. Maybe the tires are worn out. It's still a whole lot of fun. It's smaller. One thing I noticed between the Honda CRF150 is it likes to get the CRF150 seems to change direction faster. It seems to be more flickable. Yeah. This bike is still a blast to ride though, man. I would take either bike. They're very comparable to each other. The rear brake is a little better on this bike because it's a disc. Both have electric starts. They're very easy to ride and start on hills and stuff. The 140 seems to have more power, I have to say. Yeah. So right now I have the compression turned totally up on this. Compression is turned totally up on the forks. The forks, the KX100 forks have compression adjustment. I don't know what the CRF has, and this has a adjustable rebound and compression on the rear shock. Like I said, it's running a heavier weight spring in the rear, but I didn't have time to get the heavier springs on the back, on the front, so it seems to be doing fine. Sometimes the fender kind of bottoms out, you can hear it. It doesn't bother me that much. It just makes a horrible noise. But yeah, it seems like this engine is more willing to rev than the Honda engine. The Honda is a little more lazy, I say, but the Honda has more torque. It'll kind of tractor up better. That extra 10cc makes a difference, a noticeable difference. Both bikes are very fun though. Alright, so this is M5. I'm gonna go do this little hill climb that I did with the Honda. Alright, HadesOmega here. I'm on the KLX140L. I'm gonna go do some hill climbing for you today. It's a hill climb test. I'll try to go up in second gear. Actually, this bike is lighter. Yeah, so I don't know. This bike it feels lighter going up than the 150. It seems a little less stable, but it revs better, you know. But like when you get to something that is hard to climb, it kind of has to struggle. Like it'll go up anything in first gear. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, here we go. This is a really steep one right here. That's third gear. I'm second gear now. Steep section right here. Here we go. So kind of this bike, you just kind of sit down. First gear. Oh, almost lost the rear there. Yeah, this bike doesn't seem as composed as the Honda, for sure. But it'll go up it. When you go up the hills, all you do is just sit on the seat, and you just steer with the front, and no problem. So, I mean, like I said, if I had to compare the two, they're very equal comparison. The CRF150 seemed like it was easier to ride slower too. I noticed that a whole lot. Yeah, CRF150 seems more stable, going slower. I don't know why. This is kind of a seat of your pants review. I don't think I went down this last time, did I? No, I didn't. Well, let's not. One thing the KLX could use is a better clutch. The clutch is kind of weak. I would upgrade the springs on this or something, and that's what I intend to do later. HadesOmega here. So here's the Kawasaki KLX140L. This is HadesOmega's Kawasaki KLX140L. So I'll tell you like some quick
some modifications that have been done to it. As you can see, these are not the stock forks. This is the biggest modification, is these upside down forkies. Came from KX100 or KLX140. It's a very common mod for these bikes. The front just it bolts right in, no problem. And the fender, I think the fenders, the number plate needs to be modified. This is the biggest thing. And I swapped out the master cylinder. The stock one was bad. This has taller handlebars, so it fits me a little better than the Honda. These are 7/8 SC. I'm not really sure the brand. It says 11/8 high ATV band bars, and it has risers, so they're like super high. They're about as tall as you can make them. One thing I noticed is the oh yeah, look at my comparison video between the two. I kind of like look at them just at a glance. But this has a smaller chain than the CRF150. Also, another mod I did is I have a BBR rear spring installed. I wasn't able. I ordered some Racetech front fork springs, but I didn't have them in time for this trip, so it's too bad. But yeah, pretty much that's all the mods done to it. And it's stock, so it's a great bike. It's really fun. It seems like it has more power. It has more horsepower than the CRF150, but it has less torque, and it's noticeable. It, like, you can't lug it up the hill as much as the other one. It gets kind of tired, you know. But yeah, it's a great bike. It's got discs front and back. Where the Kawasaki wins is it's got a better rear brake because it's a disc. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. The muffler is some weird looking muffler. What else? Oh yeah, pretty much the engines are very similar. Like I said, this one feels like it is more willing to rev. This bike seems a little more unstable at at slower speeds. I don't know why. And like it goes over the bumps fine, but like the big kind of whoops and stuff, it has some trouble. Just like the CRF because it's so small. And this one seems to be more willing to loft the front end up in the air. I've noticed because it has more horsepower, because it's more revvy. It could be the gearing, the chain, something like that is makes this bike, you know, a little more revvy than the Honda. Oh, this also has a uni filter, but whatever. It's an air filter, you know. But yeah, it's super reliable. I've taken it everywhere. As you can see, it climbs awesome, and I really like it. It's a really fun bike. I'm 5'10", 175 pounds, and it's a little bit small for me. But with the KX front end, it did get a little bit lifted a little bit. That's why I have the forks pressed down as far as I can make it, because it made the bike so much taller, you know, and the back is still the same height. So. But yeah, it's great. It's a great bike. And now I'm going to go ride it down. I also want to point out that it is an electric start. That's good to have. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a solid little dirt bike. Solid dirt bike. For adults, it's the suspension is a little too soft. So you should respring it. The Honda, it seemed fine for me. Like I said, I'm 175, and this one, if I try to sit down, it'll bottom out very easily. I've noticed. So that's why I put the spring in, and it doesn't bottom out as much. So it helps a lot. Yeah. So if you're looking for something more out of the box and easier to ride, I think the Honda is better. The Kawasaki with the KX front end. And if you respring it, this is it's like a little rocket. But you got to realize you got to rev it. You got to keep it revved up. It's really steep climbs. You're probably going to use first gear a lot. It doesn't got the torque that the 150L has. So like, hey, it's very similar to the Honda, but also very different. Very different manners is what I want to say. So all right, HadesOmega out.
Alright. HadesOmega here. We're gonna go down the hill now. I'm gonna show you it's downhill riding performance. So I don't go down the hill very fast. I butterflies, but I like to see how slowly I can crawl down the hill. Oh my, that's quite a steep hill too. It has very good front brakes, just like the Honda. Oh yeah, that's steep. That's steep. It's very slippery too. Very easy to ride down. So the gearing is good to go down hills. I think that was the steep part already. All right, awesome. All right, we're gonna go take this thing back. And these little, like a forest road, this bike will tear up a forest road. I just rode it on the M5 today and I was hauling ass on it. Like riding on like a little supermoto. Like a road like this, like a nicely graded road. Very fun. Yeah, I got a little slide going there. Woo! I should have been in the lower gear, but I'm gonna let that torque. It's very easy to ride sitting down or standing up. Yeah, both bikes are a whole lot of fun. Yeah, I'm an adult riding a kid's bike, you know, I like it. It's very easy to handle, you know, I can flip it around, pick it up however I want, you know. It's a solid dirt bike, man. It's a solid dirt bike for pretty much anyone, you know. I assume if you're bigger than me, this bike might have trouble pushing you, you know. And I don't know about this, the clutch on this seems like it's worn out. It might be worn out, or maybe it's just too weak, you know. So maybe you would have to upgrade the clutch too if you wanted to ride it harder. But I feel like I can ride, yeah, I feel like I can ride the KLX harder. This is what it is. But the Honda seems more, you know, refined and lazy, you know, and stable. Oh. I think I wasn't hauling around the corner there. I almost like went off in that ditch right there. There's like a little piece of road missing. I was like, uh-oh. Goes down the hill pretty good. I think that, yeah, I think for if you wanted an easier to ride bike, the Honda is easier to ride. I'm not gonna lie, easier to ride. It seems to be more flickable, change directions, you know. The suspension seems it seems better for adults already, the package, because it's a bigger bike, you know. It's a 150. So they figured, you know, bigger kids are going to be riding it, you know. On the other hand, it's a very lazy bike, very lazy suspension, you know. Then again, if you wanted to ride faster, you should probably just get a two-stroke, right? Very good brakes on this. very satisfied with this bike. I'm glad I bought it. It's just on the bigger bumps and stuff, it doesn't take them very well, you know. It doesn't handle the big bumps quite as well as a bigger bike with bigger wheels, you know. And this is already the L version, the 140L. It already has the bigger rear wheel, you know. Woo! This is the one I always want to jump, but it goes right off the end there here. You gotta get some good speed to get some air on it. This is chop the throttle. Yeah, I'm not the best downhill rider. I'm alright. Especially I know this bike very well, you know, I know what it's capable of. Ah, that rock again. Alright, let's take it to the little forest here. We should do a donut test. Works good! Very easy to do donuts. I mean, the Honda, you have to ride the balls off to get to go anywhere, you know? Yeah, the 140 is just a little smaller. It's a little more of a workout. Throw around. All right. Performance on the pavement. See, it revs more. It's about very comparable from power performance to the Honda. Big ass rocks, man. Rubicon stuff here. Yeah. Oh, that's a good amount of water there. Oh, that's a lot of water. I think it'll be fine. Oh, that's slippery. Woo! Woo! Yeah! So you guys are taking a little dip in the creek here? I don't think I'm gonna do the same thing.